Welcome to Texans Telestrator presented by BMW, and it's time for the drive, the key drive of the game against the Jacksonville Jaguars in London. A Texans 26-3 win over the Jaguars in their home away from home. Their home across the pond, if you will, at Wembley Stadium. I was actually told at some point after this game was announced, nobody beats the Jaguars in Wembley. Now, I do think it was a little tongue-in-cheek when he said it, but the Texans went over and did it. And that's actually 2 in a row because the Eagles did it in Wembley last year. To me, there's a key drive defensively where all the pieces sort of came together. And it was 12-3 with 4:57 left to go in the third quarter. The Texans had just kicked a field goal after the Jaguars had botched a field goal. And there was a 6-point swing. So they missed theirs because of a bad snap. The Texans go down and make theirs, so now it's a 9-point game, 2-possession game, and now it's time for the defense to really get after it. The Jags get the ball for the touchback at the 25, so it's 1st and 10, and they want to run Leonard Fournette. And they bounce up. They're in 12 personnel, so 1 running back Fournette and 2 tight ends here. And they're going to go in motion to bounce this set up. What they want to do is catch the Texans out of position. Declaring a strength, they'll run opposite the strength. The Texans are pretty balanced here in that set. And they're just going to run inside zone, split zone. We talked about this before. Split zone. You're just going to run a zone play here. You're going to kick the outside linebacker there, and that gives Fournette the opportunity to run zone or essentially cut it back behind the tight end to the open space there. So you've got some opportunities here with split zone. I love split flow zone, but the Texans play it so well that there's nothing there for Fournette. B-Mac is a key here, but also so is Angelo Blackson. So as the play comes off, look at these 3 guys right here hold the edge. They're not going anywhere. Now, Angelo is in between that double team right there. Now that's key because he's messing up that guy's block, but he also essentially is messing up the tackle's block because the tackle's got to try and get some movement. He's got to get Angelo out of that hole, but he doesn't. Angelo creates a little bit of a mesh point, a pile, like right there. But what it does is it allows B-Mac to run to the ball free. Here comes Zach, nobody on him. And Whitney saw the split zone, so now he can take that block on full. So we've set this wall, as we talked about, against Fournette. He's got to buzz his feet. He's got nowhere to go. Look at this, white shirts. And there's some secondary help there if we need it. We don't because B-Mac makes the play. Flex on him, B-Mac. There you go. Take a look at it from behind, and you can see what Lo Blackson does here, which is excellent. He's taking on his block, but see how he takes on those 2, and they can't really get any movement? That gives B-Mac time to get here. It gives Zach time to fill in that gap, and then Whitney's eyes, the tight end there. Excellent. Look at that run defense, man. Look at that wall. Man, it gets me excited. That's good. Fournette, leading rusher in the AFC, trying to bounce out. Nope. Goes down, no gain. Now, a couple plays later, Minshew would scramble for a 1st down, unfortunately. All right? But the play right before that, he has a 2nd and 9. And you're really going to see how the pass rush and the coverage come together on this play. Minshew's got time. Look at this. This is the very next play, 2nd and 9. Minshew takes a snap, and at first, look at this. You're protecting 6 against 4. Okay, so keep that in mind. But here's what's nice. Nobody is flying upfield. Everybody's just taking on blocks, and they're creating a well. They're just creating a well around Minshew. But I want you to watch the secondary and how everybody gets hugged up here. Okay? Take a look at the secondary. Let's start out here with J. Joe. First thing he's going to do, he's playing a cover 2 technique. So he's going to jam the receiver. Watch this. Jam. Boom. Get a shot on him. Now watch B-Mac because he's crossing. B-Mac's going to get a shot on him. Bang. All right, DJ Chark, you're not coming across this unabated. He gets spun around. He doesn't even know where he is. Look at him. He's getting spun around. He gets hit. Boom. Good hands. Boom. All right, and then they mesh. They cross, and now everybody's hugged up because Minshew starts to move. This is the key. When the quarterback starts to move, you got to get hugged up. Now, Conley's down here in man-to-man anyways, and we're manned up on this. They decided to man up that side, okay? When Conley or Chark comes across, all right, I believe that's Mike Adams. Mike's going to get hugged up on him. Now, if you're Adams, or I'm sorry, if you're Minshew, where are you throwing the ball? There's nowhere to throw the ball, and you got Jalil Dieback here totally free. He can help on anything. So if you're Minshew, where are you throwing the football? Nowhere. This is tremendous coverage. Now, when you watch the rush, you're like, well, wait a second, what's the rush doing? Well, the rush just keeps coming at him, just slowly creeping at him. Whitney started back here just in case he leaked out, but then he sees Minshew go back this way. What does he do? Heads him off. This is such intelligent rush to go with great coverage. Minshew's got to throw the ball away. Excellent job. Now, got ahead of myself because the next play, Minshew, give him credit, he got out of the pocket and he did run for 9 yards and a first down. So the Jags reset the sticks, and now it's 1st and 10 again. And the Jags want to get Fournette the ball. They want to get the run game started. They really couldn't. Fournette had 40 yards on 11 carries. So the Texans are in nickel, and you'll see Jalil come up here. He's going to show up on the outside. Now the Jags actually have a pretty good play called here. They've got a zone play away from the blitz. And what they're going to get is a die here, all right? And then Zach is in man coverage on the tight end, so he's going to go with him. So they actually have got something here, kind of. So you kind of see these two guys out of the play with one tight end. But this is played so well up front that Fournette kind of doesn't really know where to go. Look at the positioning here. Omenahu, Blackson, and then Reader. Fournette just has nothing. He's got to take what he can get. And then Reader makes a hell of a play here. Now, take a look at DJ here. I've said this. I'm glad Andre Ware said this during the broadcast too. DJ's playing at a Pro Bowl level. He's going to take on this block, just a zone block. So that zone block, you want to try and get on an outside shoulder right there. DJ's not going to allow that. DJ gets into him. Now watch what he does. Look at his right arm right here. His right arm, he gets it free. Why? First of all, he's trying to show the ref, look, this guy's holding me. He's holding me right here. But the other thing he can do is he can, with that right arm, he can show the ref that, A, but B, he can also get an arm on Fournette. Who tackles Fournette with one arm? DJ Reader. Take a look at this from the end zone view as he tells everybody, yeah, you can't do that to me. Take a look at the end zone view. Here's DJ right here. Look how he gets free. Now look at the arm. Watch the arm get free. Right there. See how that arm is free? He's at least got one arm that he can try and tackle Fournette. Low Blackson doing a good job holding up. Omenahu's setting the edge. B-Mac's free right here. Whitney's coming from the backside, so there's no cutback. There's really no lane here. Fournette's just got to jam it as best he possibly can. But DJ, doing such a good job of fighting off that block, ends up making this play. This is a heck of a job by DJ Reader. Team defense working together. DJ getting a little bit of credit there. Now, the second down play was a little flat pass that was incomplete. It set up a 3rd and 7. And now the Texans are back at it, showing that same look that they showed earlier in the game. They showed this look earlier in the game where they brought two linebackers here and they do this, what's called A-gap mugging. So they put two guys in the A-gaps right here. Now, earlier in the game, they showed and then dropped in zone. That's not what's going to happen here. They run a great little swap blitz here with Dylan Cole. Dylan's going to come inside hard first. Fournette's going to come over to pick him up, and then B-Mac's going to loop around. And they can't pick up both. In fact, they don't pick up either one. And they actually kind of see it's coming. But the Texans do an excellent job here of man coverage. Garion's over here matched up one-on-one. He's just going to take that and lock it up. You got Justin Reed in the middle of the field. He's just playing free. And then these three are going to match up with these three. Now, there's a multitude of ways that you can play these three receivers in a bunch. A lot of times what you do, what the Texans have done before, is they lock up the middle guy, and then these two kind of play inside out. They play inside out. So if this guy goes in here, this guy goes like that, then Jalil jumps here, J.J. jumps there. That's kind of how you play it. But the Texans make a little subtle adjustment. You can see it. Cornell Armstrong, yeah, it's corny. Cornell starts, he communicates with Jalil, and it looks like he's going to be on this guy right here, but then watch, right at the end. See that little subtle movement? What that does is he locks up this inside guy. So now these two are going to play inside-outside on these two. So if they cross, they'll just go, well, here, okay, J.J. He goes here, okay, Jalil. If they just run straight up the field, then they'll just take here and here. But that little subtle adjustment Probably threw off Minshew a little bit. And now we're just locking everybody up. Okay? Man. Chark tries a double move. J-Joe's all over it. Okay? There's nobody open, and the rush is coming. Take a look at this coverage. Conley on Conley. Nothing. And Julio could break on that. Nothing. And there's Jay Reed sitting over the top, reading Minshew's eyes, looking to see where he's going to throw that ball. Great coverage, completely wiped it out. Now, let's take a look at the rush and go to our end zone view here. Now, like I said, this is the A gap, it's B gap, C gap, B and C. Okay? So when I say A gap mugging, what that means is that linebackers are going to show in that A gap. They're mugging. You know, you get up in somebody's face, you know, me mug, like, yeah, what's up? I'm mugging up the A gap. Yeah, A gap mug. That's what it is. Now, a lot of times the Texans end up backing out of that. Sometimes they have one guy that ends up going. You know, one guy might drop and then go. One guy might go and the other one might drop. I mean, there's a lot of different things you can do. Well, the Texans, because of the coverage that they've got on the back end, decide, you know what? Let's send them all. They can't block us. Let's send them all. They do a great job here in this 3rd and 7. And it forces Minshew to have to throw through about 6 hands, and he's got nothing on it, and it falls harmlessly to the turf. The Texans turn him over and get the ball. So let's take a look here what they do and how they do this with Dylan Cole and Bernardrick McKinney on the field. You can see there's Cornell moving over to his receiver, Keelan Cole. Now, Dylan Cole sees that A gap, and he's going to step to the center and then go up. B-Mac is going to step up and then loop behind. And the hope is that if Fournette comes here and Linder originally stepped here, then B-Mac's going to go unabated. Okay, but when Dylan goes in here, look at his eyes. His eyes really are to get Linder out. Get Linder out to make Fournette have to come further, and that minimizes the path for McKinney. And you see what happens? When Fournette goes over to Cole, there comes B-Mac. But Dylan, look what happens. Fournette's kind of like stuck in the middle. He's trying to like box him out like basketball. Fournette doesn't really get a piece of either guy. So guess what happens? Clear path. Now he's in trouble. Chuck pushing the pocket here. Whitney pushing it from the edge. And they actually, with these 4 guys, envelop Minshew. Now, Jake Martin does something smart. He realizes that they've got this under contained. So what does he do? He steps back in here in case of what? Minshew bouncing, which is something he does. That's like I said, all game long against the Jaguars, the Texans rushed really intelligently. These guys rushing the edge. If they didn't get the push right at his shoulder, they work themselves back. And that's what Jacob's doing here. He works up and then he works back in case Minshew gets out of the pocket. It doesn't really matter because Minshew is just swallowed up by the guys rushing. Look at that. And he's got 8 hands. Sorry, I said 6. That's 8 hands. And he's got to throw through there. He's 6'1", doesn't have a great arm, doesn't have anybody open downfield. The result is predictable. Incomplete pass. That got the Texans off the field. Jaguars would have to punt to them. Texans would go right down the field and score again to make it 19-3. And this one was over.